Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time you're going to be watching this, but today is TuesLaboration Day, and I have a very special guest here with me. His name is Tim Pecoraro. Say hi to Tim.
Hello, everybody.
Tim. Tim is a life coach, and he works with development of people and teams, and he's a wonderful coach and a friend of mine, and I want you to get to know him a little better. So Tim, tell us a little bit about you.
Wow, that's a lot. There's a lot to say. There's a lot. So right now, I guess I'll just simply put, I always like to tell people, you can choose adjectives, but you can choose nouns. Mm-hmm. And so my three nouns are: I'm a leader, I'm a communicator, and I'm an artist. Of course, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a friend, but those are easy. Yeah. I really have spent time really narrowing it down so I could really have a true focus and a true north. Mm-hmm. So leader, communicator, and an artist. And my one thing that I am in love with over and over again is people. So if you were to say frame your whole existence and purpose, if you're going to take your leadership and your communication and your art and concentrate it in a direction, mm-hmm. where's it going to go? So it's going to go into people, because for me, people are the greatest resources. And that is because of my belief and my faith that when I think of my Savior, Jesus Christ, he did not die for stuff, mm-hmm. money, things. His number one resource is people. He died for people. So if God would think it's that important, right? For
that's a clue, right?
Yeah,
that's
to give them. So why not let that be? So for me, that is my joy. That is my journey, right. And even my last name, Pecoraro, in Italian, my name in Italian is shepherd.
There you
so
go.
Look
sheep. That
so it literally,
know.
Yes, and so.
Fun.
Which that's a whole nother conversation we'll have to do another day, where my name, where it comes from, why I have that name, etc., etc. But anyways, That's me, my background. I have been an entrepreneur for since 1994, whatever the math is. So it's 2025, 1994. So I've been self-employed since the age of 24.
Right.
So I just told you how old I am too.
Yes.
So I was 24, and when I started, and that's what I've been doing. And I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's great. That's great. I love that you say that you can choose to describe yourself in any manner, but to tell people who you are, it's more effective, because mm-hmm. it also tells them how you can help them, mm-hmm. and they can see for themselves, like how you just love people and love to shepherd mm-hmm. people and help people, and that's fantastic.
Yeah. And I would love it if whoever's watching, try that one day. Sit mm-hmm. down and think of 10 nouns, 15 nouns, whatever nouns you can come up with to describe yourself, and then work to narrow it down. Some of them are categorically in the same, they fit in there, right?
Yeah.
So really work on it, and then take your list that you get and go to people and say, I think I like these, or give them the same ones, like a word cloud, put them all on there and ask them to circle mm-hmm. the top 3 they see as you. Then after you have all those folks do that, you look at it and compare it and see where it aligns. Mm-hmm. Because it's not just how you see yourself, it's also how people are seeing you, and it'll help you know how you're showing up.
Right. And we usually don't think that people see certain things, or mm-hmm. we think that they're not, or we get surprised when someone attributes a noun to you, because you're like, oh, I didn't know that people were noticing some sort of behavior that people do. And so that's a very good exercise to mm-hmm. get to know yourself better and mm-hmm. to understand how people see you.
That is correct.
And maybe make some adjustments if they're not if they're not good.
I recommend adjustments always.
Yes.
Because that's what we're gifted that as well, that I feel God made us not just to be pliable, but adaptable.
Yeah.
Not to be just people who are tricky, mm-hmm. but just to adapt. That's our emotional intelligence. We're able to adjust and go for the higher standards and qualities and values and really refine ourselves. Doesn't mean you can't be fun, you can't laugh and enjoy yourself, but sometimes as an extrovert, I learn to chill so I can share some space with fantastic people.
Yes.
Right? That's adapting.
Adapting. That is adapting. That's fun. So Tim is, like he said, he's been working as an entrepreneur for a long time. Mm-hmm. He's been helping people for a very long time, and we'll do that till the day he's dead.
Yes,
he's dead.
That's right. That's right.
The day he dies.
When I can't breathe, I'm done.
That's it. So he definitely takes his assignment seriously. And I wanted to ask you, like, since you started this in an early age, how did you figure out that that was your calling?
Oh wow! So for me, I was welcome to leave college. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Because of things that I decided to do. I enjoy doing a lot of things that
You're welcome
most
to leave. I love that.
yeah, I enjoy a lot of things. Right. So I was welcome to leave.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out. And so you think about college in 1987 and 88 was I'm an entrepreneur. I test the limits. I was very risky. And at that time, there weren't a lot of entrepreneurial places for you to go. So for me, I tested everything. I was a big risk taker. Certainty is not my number one need, right? Like variety was, right? So for me, I tried things, but I loved learning. I loved growing. I loved challenge. I loved people. All the things that you think of. And then I also wanted to get around things that were healthy. I wanted to grow, but I never trusted anybody. And so what happened to me was I got to this point in my life where I was like, I'm tired of living this way where I'm welcome to leave things.
Right.
You know, what do I need to do? And so because of my brokenness in my past and all of that, the irony is where I didn't have quality leadership in my life growing up. I wanted quality. I wanted to know what real quality leadership was. Because I never saw healthy and effective communication, I wanted healthy and effective communication. Right. And because art was one of those things that you were told you can't like live a life of art and all these things, I wanted to see what art could do. So all of those things were very interesting to me. It never went away. So they just were quickened more. Right. They were more alive. I was rubbed so much with boredom and rubbed so much with getting into trouble and conflict. I just ran to the end of myself. And so finally I met a man who I didn't trust authorities, which is a whole nother story in my life.
Yeah.
But his name was Harry, and Harry Ramey was a great guy, and he was from the Midwest and nothing like me. But he said, if you give me a chance, I want to show you that you and I have the same need. We need to be individuals. We need to see what we're able to do. We need to know that we're making a difference. You know, we have empty spaces in our heart that need to be filled. And so I gave that a shot, you know, and I was 21 at the time. And then at that time, he introduced me to John Maxwell. And I met John Maxwell in Atlanta, Georgia. And from there, when I heard all of that and I saw what you can be and what you can do and that you can actually make decisions. Like I made choices, I made decisions, but I never knew what healthier ones look like. Right. I never knew that you could take risk. I never knew that you could do it though with a healthy mindset, not out of I'm taking this risk because it's the only way that I can survive. I'm taking a risk with a vision. You know what I mean? For something that's healthier, something that is higher. And so I started hearing that and seeing it. And he was so simple. John Maxwell was very simple. He was very brilliant, his right? But just
very simple.
Simple. Like you plant corn, you get what?
Yeah.
Corn. Wow. He wasn't trying to be fancy or spectacular, but literally speaking to those things that were missing for me and broken.
Right.
But then I realized also that I was broken in all the right places. Yeah. So it was a perfect setup for me to get authority corrected in my life by having a man to love and care for me in a way that wasn't exploiting or taking advantage, but helping me to grow, to let go of some of the hurts and stop blaming everyone, taking responsibility for myself, and then realizing that leadership is influence. And the first gap or the first problem I could solve was the one in me, how to lead myself. And so for the next 3 years, I went on a journey from like 91 all the way up to 94. Of what it was like, the exploration to become that leader, to learn to use my gifts and talents and bring them out and learn to communicate in a way that had impact, that would speak. I would inspirationally speak to the aspirational identity of people. How I could tell them, it doesn't matter where you come from. You could be rich, you could be poor, you can be black, you can be white, you can be like me, a mutt, not even know who your father is. But still, you have this heavenly Father that you can then get a hold of that identity and you can can start to build it, and you could do anything.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, but you have to take responsibility for yourself first.
Yes.
Everything begins with you. You got to start with you first. Then from there, the communication. And then I could do it creatively. The artist in me got to live. I got to be artistic. I'm a musician. I sing, I play instruments, I can draw, I do all these things. I know colors and brand and style. But I brought all of that into this world that opened up to me. It wasn't a thing to do. You ready? It was a person to become. It was who, not what. Right? It was, this is who I am, not this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
And that made all the difference in my world.
Then you figure it was the gifts you had installed in you since you were born, but you just didn't know you could use it.
I didn't
know. So you
know.
said something interesting, like I couldn't be an artist. Like, so why is that? Is it because back then, and I know that school system is flooded that way, like, artistic kids suffer more, right? Because they get bored and they don't learn with the structure of being sitting for hours and just paying attention to this one person speaking the whole time. And so we're not going to get there.
Yeah. So
that's a whole problem. We're not going to get there. But when you said that, do you mean like the system failed you with your artistic side, or was that more of a thing in your family that you couldn't express what you...
Well, my family wouldn't have known what to do with it. I mean, they were creative, but it was very different. So my mom's side, they were all immigrants, Russian and Ukrainians on my mom's side. So I didn't know any of my father's side. But then my mom's siblings, it was very blended family. So they had different fathers. And so, but there was art there and all those things. However, the challenge was work hard, work, which for me, I love to work. I would have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I work whenever because I want to make money, right? Yeah. So even when I was in trouble, I still worked, no matter what I did. Partying and everything, I worked.
You still work,
I would stay up all night.
Money to party anyway,
that's right.
Right?
I need money to party, right? So the thing that I would say, what it was it the system? I don't know, but here's what you would hear. I would say, I want to be this rock star. I want to be this musician. I'm gonna be that mix. I'm gonna be like Prince and U2 and Lenny Kravitz. I'm gonna do all these things because I can make music. I'm a good songwriter. I can put bands together. I can do anything I want to. And I would say, but I want to do that and I want to be successful. But I would hear, okay, so you want to be a musician and you want to be successful. Well, yeah, they go, you can't do that.
They don't go together.
Yeah, they're not gonna go together. And so that was kind of the thing. That was kind of like a disappointment. So I felt like I was always in this place where I had to pick.
Right.
One of the things I began to learn growing up, and I'm even getting better at this now and getting more refined in this, and it's a powerful thing. I'm working with these 3 words, but, if, and and. And I'm putting together a whole series of keynotes and all these things around those 3 words, but, if, and and. And I started learning, you learn life, and you hear the but all the time when you're growing up.
Yeah.
And I would always say, don't get stuck behind your but. Not the one I'm sitting on, but the B-U-T, right? And then if, small word, big implications. If you do this, you can.
Yeah.
It's tiny 2 letters.
But
it
makes a
big implication, right? Yeah. Big it can really go a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But then there's and is the one we always want to hit. And, like you ask a person a question and they give you an answer. That's not the end. Typically there's an and. You ever see the commercial where the guy goes in, it was the and commercial, and they would have the ice cream cone and put the ice cream on it, and they would hand it to him, and it would be like, and, like, where's the sprinkles? Where's the, but see, that was the thing. I'm learning more now about the and of life. You can not only have the words I introduce with and is both and. You can do both and. So for me, leader, communicator, artist, both and.
Right.
I can do these things. I can enterprise. Like behind me, and maybe you can post, on your Instagram later, but on a wall back here is guitars hanging all on my wall.
I definitely took some pictures of that. Yeah.
And so, and those are just some. I swap them out. I put different ones up there. But I mean, I play them and everything, but my amps and all that stuff. But see, I still am. On my arm is a tattoo of music, right? And a keyboard. Here's a reel-to-reel on my arm. Here's the treble clef and notes. And here's a horn player. A microphone's up here. But over here, this Be Dangerous. And all of these are my spiritual things and my other part of my world where I communicate to the deeper part of a person, not just musically, but with what communicates with the words and the impact. So anyways, all those things came together. So I'm learning more about it, and it came through figuring out the and part. So growing up, not sure that anyone ever said it to me, but it was kind of one of those things like, you can't do both.
Right.
And anytime I did, I believed the idea that in order to do the music, I had to do the bad stuff with it.
Yep.
In order to do the music, I had to go ahead and have the groupies. I had to go ahead and do all that.
And hang out with the
and I did that. I was a pro.
Okay.
But then it was almost like it came true, the thing that I wanted to do, you know, with the music, and then the other thing that I wanted to do, like to build maybe my life, entrepreneurial things, didn't seem to come together.
Yeah.
And it was hard because one would seem to cancel out the other. Now I understand a lot of it was the adjustments of, it's not the fact that I made the music, it was how I make the music, what I'm doing with it, how do I pursue those things, how do I develop it in a healthy way, how do I integrate it into all the other things, how do I have 24 hours in a day and do the things that I love and organize controlling myself, you know what I mean? And that's where it all came from. So that's where the and comes from. And the requirement of and is getting a good self-awareness and learning to manage yourself. It's all about your own self-control.
That's fantastic. Very interesting. It is a misconception that, you know, I think nowadays we see, like you said, there are a lot of entrepreneurs and things and people that do different stuff, you know, that they understand they can be one and the other, not just one or the other. And I think back then it was hard because, you know, our parents, we used to think like, life is good if you go to school and you go to college and you get a job and you make money on that job and you work there for the entirety of your life, and then you retire, you save money, and you know that was the roadmap, right, for middle class. I think everywhere, not just here in America. I grew up in Brazil, and that was it. That was how it was. Everybody wanted. The successful people were people that went to college and got their degree and work in a job with, you know, 401ks and stuff like that. So that's definitely something that has changed.
So a lot of people I coach, I work with a lot of people that they did all of that. And then they tell me how unfulfilled they are.
Yeah.
How empty they feel.
Yeah.
How they wonder whose dream it was. Like all of these questions. Not that what they did was wrong. All that's great, because I work with them to say, take all of that learning. But if you could change, if you just were to move into what you want to do, what is that? What does it look like? Because again, this is your and moment. What if you could do both and? What if you could now take all of that? So instead of looking at, man, I spent all that time doing this, well, then let's think about how much, what's in front of you. How much can you do moving forward now with this understanding? How much better can you live your life now? If you get a hold of this now, just get a hold of it. So whether you started there or not, see, I started late doing it and coming to it, and other people maybe started early and coming to it. But what I realized is we're the same. We have the same similarities. We still want to be, who am I? What am I capable of accomplishing? And does it really matter?
Right, exactly, yeah. And not just becoming entrepreneurs, because not everybody's going to be entrepreneurs, but you can work for someone, for a company, or whatever you choose to, and still apply your dreams there, and you still can, you know, use the gifts that God gave you, not thinking like, oh, I'm making this person rich, but like I'm contributing to this company,
even if I am,
growth,
listen,
to the society, or
my largest client, I'm making him very rich. I've made a lot of people rich. My wife will tell you, I have made a lot of people millionaires. A lot. Who've taken things that I've taught them, trained them, and they put them to work, and they've done it. Okay? And I'm not, and the light bulb goes off like, wow, I've been doing that for everyone else, right? Like, how do you do it? But the thing is again, my pursuit isn't the money. My millionaire mindset for me is the people I invest in. So even though I may not have all the things that maybe they have, because I'm not in pursuit of stuff, what gives me joy at the end of the day is not what's in my bank account. It's going to be what's in my spirit, man. It's what's in their life. It's what's made a difference and change. So again, I want to earn. I want to have good, decent things. But all I'm going to do is take it and reinvest it in the things that develop people, right? That's my life. That's my world. So, I just feel like I give it away. I love I love putting into people's lives over and over, and that's what ends up happening. Like,
that's it.
And I love it.
That's what generosity is. And, you know, it's not just about money, like you said, and being generous also. It doesn't mean you have to give a certain percentage of your money to the church or to the poor, or this or that. You have to also give your time. And that's actually something that people cannot pay you back for.
Nope.
You know, they will receive it. And like you said, some of them are going to put in practice and move on and make great things out of it. And that's when you, like, probably feel proud of yourself that, you know, people are doing that. But you can't really put a price to time given.
Yeah. And you know, when you know that what you love what you're doing is when the people you've done that for, who don't even acknowledge the fact that you did, they have all that, and that's fine. They can have all that credit that you put in them, whether they received it in a way that was facing you, honestly, or they took it dishonestly.
Yeah.
The thing is I'm okay with it because I want to see people prosper. I want to see their lives go to the next level. I want to see them do the things that they dream of. Yeah. That is what I believe my gift is, to help unlock the potential inside of people. Right. And as long as I'm doing that, that's my reward, whether they acknowledge it or not. Yeah. And there are people running all over, from executives in our state to people running Fortune 500 companies. I can point to athletes. Like, I can point out people working from small things big. And it's not, I'm not saying yay me. What I'm doing is saying yay God's gift in me. To unselfishly work with people that no matter whether they acknowledge it or not, I'm still going to do it.
Yeah,
I'm still going to do it. And you can't stop me. I don't know any other way to do it. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, that is awesome. That is really, I think that's what life should be about for everyone, you know, for all of us. Just try and find what God installed in your heart for you to do it, and do it because you should, and not because people are going to recognize you, or you know, like the Bible says, just, you know, whatever you do as into the Lord.
That's right.
And, you know, work for the audience of one.
That's right.
And that one being, you know, God, because he's the one that's going to acknowledge all of that one day.
One day. That's right, because you can get your rewards here, and I know a lot of people that'll have great rewards here. All their money, all their trips, all their stuff. And look, I'm not jealous of it. Take all the trips you want. If you go on, like, if I walk on the stage and there's 5,000 people and I give a talk and they all applaud, hey, guess what? That stays on the earth.
Yeah.
That's just the noise I get here. Yeah. That doesn't say what it's going to be like when I walk in front of him. He's not going to go, Kim, you got a standing ovation with 5,000 people.
You're good.
Good job. Well, you're awesome. No. It's going to be, did you say, could they trust you? Did you add value to their life?
Yeah.
Were you truthful? Did you truly show up with character and integrity?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the questions that
your
matter.
Intention. It's
right.
That's
the one I'm looking forward to. And I'm at, I think the past 8 years, that has really become, and it's taken a while, right? Because you stop trying to go, you get over the hurts of this one and that one, and man, they forgot me, and this one left me, kind of like Joseph, who interprets the dream, and then the cupbearer lets out of the jail. He says, now remember me, man. Right. When you get up, please. But he goes for 2 years. 2 years, and then the Pharaoh needs an attorney. Oh yeah, there's this guy in the dungeon. He can interpret your dream, and then he finally comes out. And you know, Joseph's first words, they weren't, bro, you left me in the jail, man. No, he just showed up. Yeah. That's what I want my heart to be. I want my heart to be that, like David, when he was called after his brothers were lined up and they were all passed over to be the king, anointed king, he didn't say, Dad, you mean to tell me the prophet was here to anoint a king? You didn't invite me? He didn't say that. He just offered his head for the oil. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm learning. So the past 8 years for me in my growth process with is getting better with my leader, communicator, and artist, focusing on people, knowing it's about, there's a but, there's an if, but this and. And having that freedom to really show up and give it away in a healthy way, and for me to be healthy. And when you do that, you make better decisions, you treat people better, you work with them better, regardless of what they do.
Definitely, yeah. It's your heart intention, and it shows. So that is the real. I think that's the real challenge for all of us, to do things with the right intentions, because that's what's going to take you longer, further,
Yeah.
but not only for your own benefit, when you
Right.
are thinking of helping everyone around you, because that's the real leadership, like our friend John
Right.
Maxwell
That's
used
right.
to
That's
say,
right.
right?
That's
It
right.
starts with you. So you are the leader. You have to make people around you better, because that's the right stuff right there. So
That's
I love
right.
it. I love it. I love it. All right. So Tim, you have a community online that is called the Uphill Community.
That is correct.
And you do coach people through this community for a while now. Tell us a little bit about the community, how you started that, when on this path of helping people you realized that having a community would be the right thing to do.
Okay. So this will be going into almost the third year. And so I did a beta test of it, and then I opened up to a little smaller group that became like a membership. And then now I'm into this third iteration, which is where I want to really engage it more. So first there was some proving, right? I wanted to get good. I hate social media. So any of you that go to, and I'll tell you my Instagram, I can tell you that it's at Tim Pecoraro. So you go to my Instagram, you'll see posts, things like that, but I'm not on there all the time. I don't doom scroll. I don't have the problem. I'll watch something funny on there, but I don't sit there and look at other people's lives because I'm too busy living mine. I'm too busy still healing from things. Even as a child, I'm still healing.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't want to do anything to awaken disappointments and awaken hurt that may be in there that I'll see. Doesn't mean I'm not immune to any of it. I can still see things when I'm just looking every now and again. But what I'm telling you is I don't do that well. So, but for me, I go to places and I do keynotes, and then I've been working for the past, I'm so grateful for, since 2012, literally just going into businesses, spending a year with a company, working with their teams to help develop the teams, help develop the leader, help them develop their future leaders within, helping them to deal with emotional intelligence in the company, helping them to learn how to grow together, how to unlock the team dynamic, how to function well as a team.
Yeah.
All of these things. I was doing this before all these other people that are quote unquote leadership coaches now that came out of nowhere. I was doing it. I'm a product of that. But the thing is I don't post all that stuff. I don't brag about all that. And then most of the talks that I would do inside companies, I create brandable material for them. It's the stuff that I create for them. So it's not like I post all that on YouTube and all that other stuff, because it's not been just audience facing all the time. No, it's going in and doing the work within the company that has a large footprint. And I'm talking to a lot of all hands, and then that company gets to keep that material. So then I was like, how can I do this more and not always have to come in and reinvent the wheel? How can I do something to where I can help save a company and save people money, to where they're not having to fly me all over the United States or anywhere else to come in, and all those fees? And what if I come once a quarter and then the rest could be online? So then you have your Facebook groups, and you have all these different things, and all these portals, and you have teams, and blah, blah. Okay, that's great. But all the work gets in there. So then what I decided was I found an online community. And there's a bunch of them out there, and you'll learn more about which platform we're using later. But I said, I'm going to do it this way. So what if you could take the Facebook groups, you can take the ability to stream, you could take the ability to put a course in there, all that stuff, and just brought them all together. And that's when I realized I can do this not just for my company. So the clients that I have, these companies, I make them learning management systems using this same platform. So it's something that's meant for all the other stuff, but I use it for corporations, and I work directly with an HR department, and we do continuous education and learning to where they can grow, and they put the kudos and the attaboys and all the stuff that they can do to celebrate one another. So let's just say I'm doing the 5 levels of leadership, and I'm walking them through, and I'm taking 30 leaders through this, and these are people that ultimately want to go to the next level. And so part of their framework of advancing in the company, they go through different course of study, and then they're able to use this, and it's all within this LMS. So I do live, I come on live, well, first I'll do a quarterly, maybe on site. Then for the months, I'm on live. So once a month, I'm on live. But then there's weekly little videos that are there that keep them moving along, and they follow that coursework. It only takes them 5-10 minutes. But what's nice is it's their team is working on it. It's embedded in their department or whatever their area. So they're still working and talking about it. It's not disruptive. It's a way for them. And then organizationally, everybody's working on the same thing across the board, but they all have their pathway with it. So even if you don't want to become a leader in a certain department, you're still learning what leadership is. Leadership is influence. Leadership is a position. Leadership is permission. Leadership is production. Leadership is people development. Leadership is legacy. Like these are the things that they learn. And then I tell them, if you could take this here and outside. So now I was like, this is going to work. So I started doing it with the companies. Then I said, well, I got people all the time going, oh, Tim, I wish I could be at that talk, but I don't work at that company. So I was like, what if I can now, because I believe in one person. I believe you're just one person. So it's like this hat. I have a bunch of hats. So this one's one of my faithful then, faithful now. This is all about God, how he is and how he shows up in our life.
He will always be.
That's right. And he's always going to be faithful. And so that I put on the same head, just a different hat. So when I go home, same guy, different place. So I have roles and responsibilities and there's a function, but I'm still the same person. It's easier if I look at my life that way instead of what hat am I going to wear. I'm the same guy and I just put the hat on my head. I show up and I do that, but I think about the things that I have to do. What's my function? What's my role? What's my responsibility as a husband, as a father, as a friend, as a business owner? But I don't have to worry about the details about my character, my ethic, my service, my love. Like, so I take all of those attributes and I go, what if I can now take those that I've been doing with the company, not just because I'm not doing all the skills. I'm not telling you that's not what we're doing. We're not doing how to do a better spreadsheet. No,
that's up to them.
That's right. You do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mine is, how are you going to work better with the people that you're working with to make a better spreadsheet? Like, that's what I do. So that if I could teach these same attributes and qualities and function over here, I can take those now and put them in coursework. So what I decided to do is put leadership courses together, emotional intelligence courses together called The Brand Called You, and just working with them. And so I put it in the community, started with one group. I did leadership first. So I took 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, put it in 7 weeks, and took a whole group of people through it to beta my platform apart from companies. So I was realizing this works. So then after that, I launched into the full uphill community, opened it up for people to become members, and then went through what is the core signature stuff that I do, which is how to create lift for your life, which is your real leadership stuff and your life stuff. How to get your life off the ground. It requires 3 things. You're going to have to start something, you're going to have to stop something, you're going to have to cut back on something, and you're going to have to lean in and elevate on something. So that's what it is, like an airplane. You got to create momentum, you got to eliminate weight, you got to reduce your draft behind you, and then ultimately have a horizon for your lift. Literally, that's all it is. And so taking that and then creating different structures to invite people in, and that's what I started, that's what I'm doing, and that's what we're going to be doing.
That's what we're going to be doing. We'll talk about this.
Hopefully that was clear.
Yes. Well, it was very clear to me, but I know all of that. So I hope, if you have any questions, if you want to know more about the Uphill community, just, leave us a comment or send us a message. You can DM me or Tim. I'll give you.
I tell you what, if people are curious,
and all that.
What if they're curious, they can reach out to you. And you and I we'll send them out a link. We could do a stream, invite them in, and let them, and we can show them around. We can answer questions. I'll gladly, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
If they're curious.
Yeah. So, Tim and I know each other for a while now. We go to the same church, and he plays in the same band as my husband play, and our daughters are good friends. So we've been knowing each other for a while, and for some odd reason, we never really talk about what we do, right? What do you do? What do you do? We never really talked about that. And one day we were at Target. Right. Target's not paying us to say that.
That's right.
It's a true story. We were at Target, and then that week I was actually very frustrated with work because I do have what I still call my day job. So I still process for mortgage companies, and we were just talking about what really what we like to do, and how we like to do. And then in a 5-minute conversation, we found out that we like to do the same things, that we like to develop people and develop ourselves and make people better at what they do. And we found out that we both were certified at the John Maxwell Institute. So, like, he mentioned John Maxwell. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know who he is, but if you don't know, go search. He's a pastor and a leadership guy that he has his own program. So we went through that, not together at the same time, but with the same values and everything. And we do believe that leadership is influence, and also that is a misconception about leadership being like, oh, just the bosses are the leaders, right? That's wrong. We're all leaders. If we have 1,000 people under us, or one person, or no person, we still have our families, right? We can be leaders in our families. We can be leaders in our churches, in volunteer places. There's always a place for you to be a leader, to influence people for the good, and for God, hopefully.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, so that's how we met. And that's not how we met. We knew each other.
That's how we got into this.
Right. That's how we decided, like, okay, we should do something together. And then he told me about his airplane and all the stuff that he has teach all over the years, and how he thinks this is important. And even though I'm more toward to working with women, immigrant women, and how they can belong, how they can feel that they belong, and how can they readjust their lives, it's the same. It's the same, working with people from different countries and trying to understand the difficulties they have in adjusting to a culture. Yes, there is a cultural thing. There are differences there, but in the end, we're all human beings.
That's
and
right.
We all have the same needs.
That's right.
We all want to be loved.
Yep.
We all want to belong.
Yep.
We all want to be productive and help someone, be of help, and also be important to somebody.
That's right.
Those are human needs.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter if you were born here or in Brazil or in China or in a very different culture, like East and West have very different
They're
cultures.
Very different.
They're very different than we are, but we still I'm sure they still have the same needs that we do.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter if you are a CEO somewhere.
That's right.
Or if you are the janitor. This is for you.
So we work with different people. I work with from presidents, owners of companies, CEOs, from the top tier, people that are coming out of high school, college, guy that was about to go to jail. There's a guy also, I'm working with a young guy who went through the humiliation of losing his job. He came back home. His parents are both well off, but yet he's looking to someone else to give some advice, and they're entrepreneurs, but he's looking to make a difference. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. Here's the thing. Here's what people will say, Nancy. They say this all the time. Well, what do you know about this? And I'm like, I don't know. What do you know about it? I'm not. If you're looking for someone, like, of course, if you're trying to figure out how to do the stock market,
right,
hire someone that does the stock market.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want to do. But if you want to talk to someone about how to live your life with the stock market earnings that you have, or how to deal with the disappointments of the stock market not working your way, or or maybe setting your dreams according to what you're doing, that's where we come in.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you about all of those things. But when it comes to just those finance, those go find someone else to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not your guy. I don't want to be the expert in your world.
Yeah.
You be the expert in your world, and let me help bring out the potential. What do I want to bring out? What does Nancy want to bring out? What is the gold that's going to back your currency?
Right.
Like money used to have gold behind it, right? Now it's nothing, right? You're the gold that backs your currency. In other words, everything you do, what's the gold inside of you? What's the intrinsic value in you? That's what we do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I know top level people that have built billion-dollar companies that are miserable. I heard our mentor, John Maxwell, talk about being on an airplane with all these guys that flew him to Italy. And, he's pretty well off, right? He's written great books.
Yeah.
He's done a great job. Very humble, but he was talking about being the poorest guy on the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, John's doing awesome. but he was on this airplane, the poorest guy, but he had the most joy.
Yeah.
And
the richest, really.
Yeah, that's right. Inside of him, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, these guys, these guys were like, but some of them were writing checks just to get their kids to talk to them, to hang out with them. They had arrangements and everything just worked because of. But if you stripped it all away, what was left? And that's what we like to do.
Right.
We like to say, if you could push all that away, what's left?
Yeah.
How do you show up?
Yeah.
What do you do? Not that you're going to just go blow your life up. Nobody needs to do that. But what we're saying is it's never too late to start refining things. It doesn't matter where you are in your life, because there's always something inside that taps you on the shoulder and says,
Yeah.
I wonder. Because when we're at the end of our life, Nancy, and we're laying on that deathbed, wherever we're going to be, whatever that's looking like, none of us are going to ask about money.
No.
We're not going to ask about college, degrees.
No.
It's going to be people.
It's going to be people.
Relationships,
Yeah.
love, belonging.
That's the legacy
Yes.
we live in. You know, we just had this very great example with, unfortunately, the passing of Charlie Kirk. And the legacy that he's living, like, it's crazy. It's unbelievable that a guy with 31 years old, you know, just
has made that impact.
Made that impact. And we all can do it. You know, it doesn't mean we all going to be nationally known or worldly known. But we have to think of the legacy that we want to leave behind, and starting with our families, right? Our children, our husbands and wives, or if you're not married, your parents, your siblings, or the people you do life with, whoever they are. Like, what do you want them to think about when they think about you, right? What do you want them to remember of you? Like, what have you taught them that they will never forget? Right?
That's right.
So those are the things that really matter, because money is nice. Success, it does not mean you have a lot of money.
Right. You know what success does? Success camouflages things. I tell people all the time, because when you're winning, nothing hurts.
Right?
You're just winning.
You're in a row,
but
and
right.
That's
but
it.
then when something goes wrong and then it's like, how did I miss that? Because when you succeed and you win, you need to. Here's what people say: Why do you want to throw a wrench in it? We're celebrating. Good, celebrate. 24 hours, celebrate though. And then look at, what did you miss? What could you have missed? Because underneath success, there's stuff hidden that is just waiting to show up. Because it's life. It's real.
Yeah.
Failure is inevitable. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But when you're just succeeding and you don't know how to fail, because failing isn't final unless you don't learn anything.
Yeah.
And the only way you succeed anyways is you had to go through a process of learning.
And if you fail a few times.
Exactly. So I just say success camouflages things.
Yeah.
So I always like to do a post-mortem of the win. So if I win something, I like to look back and go, where were my gaps? If things had gone different, what could have been a problem?
Right.
I made it through that and I won.
Yes.
Right? But what could have happened? What do I need to work on? What do I need to improve? Right? We tend to do that when we lose.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't want to avoid it, a lot of people want to ignore it and forget about it. But you should, whether you win or you lose or learn, right? You should think about it. So if you're at a mountaintop, 24 hours, get off that mountain. If you're in the valley, 24 hours, get back up in it. Get out of the valley, right? So anyways, that's something, that's a big one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, success, it doesn't mean money. It means that you have good relationship with people around you. It means you are influencing people in the right way. It means that people want to be with you because they feel happier or stronger or whatever it is that you can help them with. So that is fantastic. And on that note, Tim and I have an announcement about our new course on the Uphill community that is called Real Life and Leadership.
Well, it's a school.
It's a school. It is a school of life. So it doesn't really matter if, but I'm not this, or I don't work like that. I'm not an entrepreneur. I'm a man. I'm not a woman. I'm a whatever. It's for everyone. Like he said, If you want to learn how to trade on the stocks, we're not your people.
Right.
If you want to learn how to, I don't know, even if you want to play a guitar, he plays the guitar, but he's still not your person because he's not teaching that.
That's right. I don't teach it.
So if you want to learn skills, that's not what this school is for. This school is for people who want to unlock their God-given potential that's inside of them and use that for whatever purpose they were given in life. Right?
So yes, and so here's what I just did. Because I have all these tools and so on my phone here, and so I wanted to pull up because that way, because we're still figuring it out, aren't we?
We are. We're still in the process of putting it all
together, and it's a big heavy lift, but it's worth it, right? And we're not numbers driven. We're not trying to get how many people we can get in.
Right.
And, no, we're doing it because we know it's needed and what needs to be out there. So here's an example. I figured I would pull this together, Nancy. So what would be a takeaway? So it's called the Real Life and Leadership School, right?
Yes.
And so it's designed to help people grow in their personal, professional, right? Okay, there's a lot of those.
Yeah.
By combining practical life application with proven leadership principles. That's all it is. Life, leadership. We're bringing those together. So it's going to be structured in phases. So we have 4 phases.
Yeah.
We have an ignition phase, an alignment phase, a refining phase, and ascending phase. And so, and each one of these phases are like 12 weeks. And what's really cool is it doesn't matter which phase you join in on. Yeah. It stands on its own. You can connect to it. Okay. So what we want to do is equip the participants at the core, right? So if you joined, if you said, Nancy, I want to be in this. Tim, what at the core, what's going to happen? Well, we're going to get you. So here's what's going to happen. It's going to equip you to lead yourself well, right? Through clarity, discipline, and intentional growth. Develop others. You're going to work around that by building healthier relationships and teams or influence wherever you are, and then live with purpose. That's a big one, Nancy. You know,
that's the most important. Really, if about everything we said here today, you can start thinking about your purpose. You know that you're not, and I don't mean your purpose like, oh, I don't have the skills to be a doctor, or that we're not talking about your job. Your job is your job. And it's just a job, by the way. Even if you are a very highly skilled person in what you do,
that's not who you are.
It's just a job. It's not who you are.
That's right.
Right? So that's what we're talking about. Like, think about your purpose, and we are trying to get people to have clarity on their purposes and what they need to do according to, you know, their God-given gifts and their experience too. Like you said, you know, some people have worked their whole life doing something that they hate because guess what? They are equipped to do something different, something else. So we're trying to bring that to surface so they can find with clarity
what
their purpose
and
is.
It's funny you said because by the end of the program, clarity.
Yes.
So what Nancy just said about who you are. And where you're going. And you may go, well, Tim, I'm in my 50s like you. I'm still working on where I'm going. I'm still getting clarity. And what truly matters. Second thing is you'll get practical frameworks. We're putting together all these neat little frameworks that are going to help you make decisions, help you build better habits, help you set your priorities. A lot of people set them. They go, I got my priorities up here. Write it down. Okay. Leadership tools, right, that will help you influence other people in a healthy way, whether it's at work, relationships, confidence. That's the other part, is to build the courage and the confidence in navigating challenges with focus. When you navigate the challenge, we want you to have focus, resilience, and a purpose. Again, back to purpose. And then you'll have support systems. So we're there to work with you as coaches, to be there to, sometimes we may mentor, we may show you something. Other times it's just going to be a coach. We're going to be good coaches. And what's nice is it's all in a community to where you work with others. You can connect with them and you're able to chat with them and to talk. So here's a promise though. You're not just going to learn the leadership stuff. You're not just going to learn things. That's not what we're going to get you to live it. We're going to put things in front of you that the only way to test it is you have to live it. And you're going to have the tools and the clarity to impact any part of your life. So you pick it. I want my marriage to be better. Bam, this will work. I want to grow a business. Boom, this will work. I want to be a better athlete. Boom, this will work. I want to be an artist, Tim. I want to paint and be Boom.
Yeah.
Let's do this. What's going to go out on canvas? What are you going to do? It's not just how to paint. You'll go get painting instructions.
Right.
Right? But we're going to work with you on really engaging with this thing that's driving inside of you. And so it's not that you just paint on one canvas. It's how do you color the world?
Right. Yeah.
Think about that.
That's very, very true and very good, because it's and you know, if you are on your 50s like us, you probably realize that it's not about your skills. It's all here, right? It's all it's the lies we tell ourselves, the lies
I'm not enough.
choose, right?
Yeah.
We choose to believe, like, you know, the imposter syndrome, like I don't know how to do that. I'm not enough.
Who's gonna listen to me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's gonna listen to me? Who's gonna buy my product? Who's gonna? You just, you know, you gotta stop with all of that.
Right.
You gotta stop with all of that. And you get, once you know what you really want, you have the tools to just focus on putting your mind at the place where it should be, so you can proceed with this.
If you're a person that wants to
Yeah.
embrace the new,
Yeah.
if you're a person that knows you're in a transition, you want to change. This is good for you. This is what you want to join Real Life in Leadership.
This is the right place.
This is the place for you
to get clarity before you start doing.
If you're a person that's just wanted to just do something to pass your time, and maybe because you like just courses or doing,
Right.
we're not for you.
Yeah.
We're looking for people that are really saying, I'm looking for not my next thing, I'm looking for the new thing.
Yeah.
I'm rebuilding something. I'm pivoting hard.
Yeah.
I'm making change. I am tired of being here. I want to be here. Like John says, right?
Yeah.
He says, that's why I named the company Uphill Strategies. People say, where'd uphill come from? Well, John would say that anything worth having is uphill. And you can't go uphill with downhill habits.
No.
Right? And so that's why I call it an uphill strategy is here's my current condition. Here's my emerging future. What's it going to take for me to get from here to there?
Yeah.
What standards do I need to establish? What things need to be clear? What habits do I need to create on my way to here to make this thing true?
Right.
That's ultimately where it is we want to help you make that true.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're here, right?
Right.
Fact is, you're here. Truth is, it can change.
Right.
Fact, truth.
Yeah. Exactly. It does. And like Tim said, you know, inside of the community, you're gonna find the tools that will take you from here to here. It's not just like, you know, you can do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, good luck. That's not how it goes. I mean, we all know that if you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna do some hiking, or if you're gonna do whatever it is in nature, right, and you're planning on to do this physically challenging thing, you got to prepare yourself, and you have to have the right tools, right?
That's right.
If you train for a marathon but you're gonna go up the Everest, that doesn't really,
nope.
you know,
or you're gonna wear your dress shoes,
right?
to go running in,
right?
Your Steve Maddens really you can't do that.
Or, you know, you're not bringing the proper clothing, you're not bringing the proper food. So you, wheeling alone, the wheel alone will not take you where you need to go. You have to have a strategy, and that's where we come in to help you with a strategy, a plan, and tools that will make it easier for you to realize that yes, it's possible and you can do it.
And we believe in life change, and that's the other thing I want to say. Nancy and I, we want to most emphatically implore you. We want life change.
Absolutely.
We want you to be able to say, I'm doing something and my life is different. Why is it? It's not because of information that we're going to put on some downloadable sheets or the live videos that we do. No, it's going to be interaction. It's going to be those things, and we care. But we believe that what we're putting in there for you to do, it's accessible.
Yeah.
It's something where you can attain it. You can put it into your life right away. And if you're willing to do that work, and if you're willing to open yourself up, we believe you can have mental change, spiritual change, emotional change, physical change, financial change. Those things can happen. And we also unapologetically will be those who will bring God in the midst of it. Now, if you're one of those people, we don't want to run you off. You can believe however you want to.
Right.
But we are not going to shy away, because we know who the author and the finisher of our faith is.
Absolutely.
We know who gave us this life and gave us this breath. And so we want to do, as Nancy said a couple minutes ago, everything we do it as unto the Lord. And that's what we want to do. But we believe that we will put those things in front of you. So it will be biblically based. We will give you things. So if you're even curious spiritually, this is a place to come. We're not going to overwhelm you, but you're able to explore. Maybe you want to deepen your faith. You know, in with your walk with God. Maybe you go to church, but you don't realize that you are the church if you're a believer, right? So there's a difference. But yeah, we believe in that life change. We believe it help you gain clarity, raise your standards, so you can embrace your call 2 and 4 more. But if you want change and transformation, that's what we're interested in. And again, we're not doing it. Of course, we have bills, we have things to do, but we're not starting this. It's not money.
It's not about like how many people are going to sign in. And, you know, we want the right people, and that's what we actually pray for. We want the right people so they can take the right, you know, time for them when their hearts are open for them to receive that and take into practice, because that's the most important thing.
And you're also, so we have 2 ways we're doing this too, though. Right? Because so my friend Nancy here, for those of you who do not know, she's from Brazil. She speaks Portuguese. And so we'll work together on things. Like, so if I go on with her live, she will speak Portuguese, and then, you know, she'll translate for me. Right. And then, but on English, she, obviously you guys hear, she rocks. She rocks, okay, in English. So we could do this together, but we're making 2 tracks because she has a heart and a passion for the Brazilian people and the Portuguese speaking people. And so I'm a people, I love, once again, my word is what? People. I love nations. I would do this where if it's Ethiopian and they only speak Amharic, I would do the same if I can find that right partner and people to work with. So that's what we're going to be doing. And so there'll be those 2 pathways so people can come. And so if they are Portuguese speaking, they'll still have access to the English stuff because we want them to be able to, if they want to get better in English, they'll have both of them.
Yeah, it's a 2-in-1 combo. You know,
That's right.
You get your life stuff in your own native language.
That's right.
You know, and you also get to learn English.
That's right.
How cool is that?
That's right. So and when we talked about that, because Nancy now, and hopefully her book is going to be coming out, like my book. We're going to be working on.
We're both working.
That's
on
right,
books
on our books.
And also on our project. Yeah.
That's right. So Nancy, for those who are watching right now, like when you see the Brazilian or Portuguese speaking people coming in for this, what is that connection that you see? What do you feel for them?
Well, I want them to realize that they can, same thing as everybody else, right? They can do what they are called to do. But most of all, that they can feel loved by us, and that they can feel that they belong. You know, it doesn't mean if they are not used to eat hamburgers or pizzas every night because we eat different food, or, you know, if they have dinner at 9 o'clock instead of 5.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
those
late.
are all true.
That's
those
right. It's true. Those are real.
But, you know, most important thing is that regardless of how you feel about your transition from one country to another, you still can learn with this culture and be yourself. And you know, even if your English is not 100%, or I don't know, if you live in German and your German is not up to par, you will get there. Those are secondary things. The important thing is that you right now feel that the choice you made is the right one. There is a reason for you to be living somewhere else, and you will find that what you need to make this new chapter, right? I like to say that you're not beginning all over again from zero, from scratch. That's not true. You bring a whole life that you already lived somewhere else, and you're just making a different chapter. You're adapting.
I love it.
Yeah, you know, adaptation is part of life. Whether we live our whole lives on the same address, we all go through changes, and we need to adapt, and that's how it is. We learn all the time, and I want you to feel welcome in our community. I want you to know that Tim will be there for you. I'll be there for you, and you can.
And everyone we add in,
and all people, and you'll be surprised how many people actually go through the same things, same struggles.
No matter where you're from.
No matter where you're from, no matter which language you speak, it's really about the same things. It's the human nature and the needs that we have, and the preparation we didn't have when we were growing up, but we sure have now.
That's right.
So it's never too late.
And we'd be honored to be your partner and to grow with you.
Absolutely.
And to be also learning as well as instructing with you, right? To coach and once again, we don't want to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
We want, you know what good coaches do? They ask questions so that you have problems to solve.
Yeah.
A good coach gives you problems to solve.
That's it.
A bad coach tells you everything.
Right.
That's a mentor.
That's a mentor.
Right.
That's a
whole different thing.
A therapist, whatever you want to do aside from that.
But we're coaches, and sometimes we might put a mentor hat on.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what I've figured out?
Right.
And we may do that. But most of the time, we want you, because there's something, Nancy, when a person feels that that click. It clicks like when you lock the door and you hear it latch and you know. How do you know your door's locked? Click. You hear the click. Right? You're confident in the click, especially if you know the lock. That's what we want. We need those kind of mechanical things happening inside of our spirit, inside of our mind.
Absolutely. So here it is. The cat, what is it? The cat's out of the bag?
Cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag.
That's
we
right.
told you. We spilled the tea.
That's right.
By the way, this tea is really good.
It is good.
And I love, I don't know if you guys can read it, but it says my brain has too many tabs open.
And then this one is because my wife always so if you're offended by this is my wife. She loves this. She wants a sign up in our office that says punch today in the face. No, punch today in the face.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm thinking people are going to think, man, that I'm just like, but I guess nobody's been offended. I've been on different things with this cup.
No, it makes completely sense.
Punch today in the face. In other words, rock your day out. And the tea, just so those of you, a little shout out, and I'm not endorsed. We're not endorsed by it.
But it's good. I was going to ask you where this tea comes from.
It's throat coat tea. That's the maker. Throat coat.
I like it.
It's good. This is
you know why? Because
licorice.
he's a musician. He sings, so he
That's
knows
right.
the stuff that soothes your
La, la, la,
throat. Anyways, guys, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. I hope that, if anything registered here today, just know that we love you. That's it.
Right.
We love you. We want to help. The community, it's already there. The community exists, so you can, you're welcome to check it out. And the Real Life Leadership Program is coming out very soon. We'll definitely let you know when that time comes. And if you have questions, just DM us. I'll put some information after our video. Our video is out. Like,
whatever this thing is.
This thing here. The video is out, and I hope you reach out, and ask questions.
Ask questions,
and
yes.
Figure if this is for you. If it's not, it's all good. And if you know someone who's going through a lot in life right now, and they need just a place to be certain and loved and feel welcome and have someone to show them the way, then just tell us.
So Nancy, here's one of the things that I would throw in there, and I envision seeing people like, so say you and I were, we knew each other and you found it and then you came to me. My vision that I see and that I've been thinking is people will get their peers. So just like you have a small group in your home or you do a book club or whatever, what if you and 5 other people, friends, you say, let's do this thing together, because after that, not only do you have the community, but then you have that in-house small group that you're doing this with, like your own watch party together. You do the work together and you work on goals. It could be a person you want to do a business with. It could be a person so think that way too. Think of someone, not just who you would maybe pass it to, but to say, would you do this with me? Let's do this together. Let's the 3 of us or the 5 of us, maybe you're besties. And your bestie relationship is like stale bread. You all need to change. You need to grow. You want to go to the next level. This is what you do. Get a new thing to go to the next.
And that's really true, because we are the sum of the 5 people that are closest to us, right? So you don't want the 5 people close to you not to be on board with the same thing that you're doing, because you are growing. So a lot of people say like, oh, but this person, they don't like me anymore. They change. It's because they're probably growing in some areas of their lives that you're not. So
Right.
maybe you should catch up with them, you know,
Yeah.
instead of saying,
Right.
oh, they don't like me anymore. And that's exactly what Tim's saying, you know, get your family involved. You know, because they will be your accountability partners, right? They're going to be there for you, and you're going to be there for them. And that's how life it's really goes. That's how it goes. We can't do life alone.
Nope.
And we need the people that are doing life with us to be on the same page, because otherwise it will be a disaster.
Yeah.
So, you know, check us out. Come see it.
Yep.
And, you know, check it out and bring your small group, your closest friends or your family or people from work that you all have the same desire to do something different. You know, there you go.
Do it together.
Do it together. Always do it together. Tim, thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for being here today. I'm very, very happy to be doing this with you, and very happy that we're, you know, telling the world
That's
what
right.
we're doing now.
I'm honored to do it with you
Yes.
as well.
So we're very, very glad that you're here. I hope you watch and that you share this video with everyone. So the most people will know what we're doing, and you know, we'll be able to come out and check us out.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Happy
And I'll
Tuesday.
see you next week.